Hello! Thank you for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. For this installment, I'm going to use the Tarot Grand Lux by Ciro Marchetti. Is it illustrated or something by? I know there's a website. My brain's going a little slow. usgames.inc. No, usgamesinc.com. There we go. You can see it there. It's on this screen. Feel free to freeze frame. usgamesinc.com. That's what's on this box. That's the tarot, the oracle cards, energy oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. One of my more enjoyable decks, in my opinion. Use it a lot. Where is your... Oh, Sandra, I didn't get your book out, Sandra. I'm so sorry. HayHouse.com. I believe it's on the bottom. There's also HayHouseRadio.com. But HayHouse.com. If you search Sandra Ann Taylor, you'll find it. Are these the websites? Yeah. So here's more information. If you're interested, feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you're interested. I also use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana. I substitute 22 for 0 for the Fool. And I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element to match up with that. They are from here. The ones I currently use are from here. The Dice Shop, I think it says Math Art Fun. Can't read it. Math Art Fun, is that what it says? mathartfun.com, if you want to check that out. Hopefully you can read that if you want to read that. Alright, with that being said, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. And let's go on to your reading. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for when you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Scorpio? I don't know yet. Do we like it? Do we not like it? Okay. So I feel like this is going to set the stage very easily for Scorpio. This situation, the majority of the people you like. Maybe not everybody. But the majority of the people you do like. Or, at the very least, I'm able to section off a few people that I can hang out with that are part of this certain situation. So, for example, if it's family, maybe there's a couple people in your family, maybe there's more, that you can like have over to the side and just have some time with, and you very much enjoy that. Could be also work. Maybe you're not even in the same department or situation, but there's people you work with, when it's just the lot of you together, you very much enjoy that. Whatever it may be, something like that. Could be a part of a social connection in a different way. But there's a connection here where there's the core energy. When I'm able to get together with these certain people, I like them. They're good. I enjoy being around them for the most part. Something you don't know about this connection with other people. Okay? That's very much a big piece of it. People love you. Sometimes I feel like Scorpio misses that how much they're loved. Which doesn't have to mean that you love people back. It's not dependent on that, but people love you. People really, really do appreciate you and very much love when you're around. Sometimes I've met a few Scorpios, and it's not everyone, I know that, but they don't realize how much they're truly loved. And they're truly appreciated. Even if, like, sometimes people get on your nerves, and sometimes you just can't. You're just like, I love them, but no. I feel like Scorpio, I feel like y'all know what I mean by that. Like, I love them, but no. Like, I can't. Just, at least not today. People love you, and they love that unpredictability about you. Because the part of you that's unpredictable is not as scary to them. Like, you might do this today, you might do that tomorrow, but they know that if there's these people that know that you have their back and that No matter, you may be very random, but there's certain things you're not random about. There's certain people you will stand with and certain people you will not tolerate. So that's the interesting thing about Scorpio. Definitely have random characteristics, but not when it comes to loyalty, in my opinion. Scorpio is loyal to who they're loyal to. It may be random how you handle it, but there's certain people you like, and you're there for them. There's certain people you don't, and it's just like you're just not going to tolerate it. I feel like that's a level of Scorpio. I feel like that's a very strong level of Scorpio personally. I'm not a Scorpio, but that's how I interpret Scorpio. You may not realize how much people truly do love you. Certain things that may be coming and going and that don't last as long, what are those things that you're not aware of? People scrutinizing what you do. People scrutinizing what you do, the Justice card. Sometimes people pick apart what you do. And sometimes people take a little, sometimes people, I feel like they sit on it a little too long. When I get this rest and rejuvenation with the Justice card, I feel judged. Justice tries to be more compatible. I feel like sometimes people are nice when they say certain things. Like, they say them in a nice way, but, like, Scorpio sees right through that. Like, you know, Scorpio is very deep feeling energy. So if somebody says something to you and they say they don't like what you did, even though they may say it really quickly and move on from it, you hear it and you know it. And sometimes it's kind of like certain things might stick in your brain longer than they need to. Take that with a grain of salt. It's kind of like, yeah, they didn't really like this one thing, but they're not holding it forever and ever. But it might be something they said it once. They may forget they said it, but you never forget that they said it. It might be one of those things. I feel like they're trying to put that out there that you might not realize that sometimes people tell you things and they didn't like something you did. You know, we're all human. But they may have let go of it. Yeah, they let go of it. They got the Death card there. And they got the Three of Cups. No. 3 is what? 3 is earth or water. Hello, brain. Let's get together. It goes fire, earth, air, water. Air. The 4 of Swords reversed. They may not realize that what they said hurt you. They may not realize what they said hurt you. The energy is difficult there because I feel like this... People in the past have probably said stuff to you. And in the moment, you might not have had like an outwardly expression of it. I feel like Scorpio is really good at this. You absorb things without people realizing you absorb things. And they may not realize that they said stuff to you that still hurts you, and they've moved on way beyond it. I'm a Pisces, I'm not Scorpio. I feel like I can relate to this where, you know, people say stuff and it lives rent-free in my brain for years. Meanwhile, if for some reason maybe you bring it up, maybe, they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. You sure I was even there? And you're thinking to yourself, oh yeah, I'm really sure you said it. You said it right to my face, and it hurt me. So, meanwhile, they're like, I don't remember that incident at all. I don't remember being to that place. I feel like water signs, and I'm a water sign like you, granted, not Scorpio, but like, when that stuff hits us, it's hard for us to let go of it. So I don't know if that helps. Hopefully that helps in some respect, because I know that I do it. Scorpio's different, I know that, but I'm just saying. So they're just trying to add this into the thing. Like, that might be one of the reasons maybe you don't realize how much people love you, because there might be things you hold on to that other people aren't holding on to. And I'm not saying that's good, bad, or indifferent. I'm just saying you just may not realize that that's happening, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. This energy coming forward, I'm getting like there's a really good connection with this same group of people. Even though you like this group of people overall, I feel like this is another reason you may not realize how much you're loved, because you're thinking maybe there's just certain things they don't like me on. Or, you know, that stuff is stuff that may not be as important to them as it is to you because of that connection. 10 of Cups coming in, happy family. Happy family is the 10 of Cups cup. That's not the 10 of Cups. That is the 7 of Cups. Sometimes I see the happy family as the 10 of Cups card. All right, so if I can focus. I keep feeling like that 10 of Cups here, but it's not. It's the 7 of Cups. It just gives me that whole... And it's kind of like, maybe that's a question here. How much do we really get along? How good is this connection? We're having a really good moment. Is this really, do we all get along as good as it looks like on the outside? Maybe there's a question there. There's some stress going forward. Is that individuality? Knight of Wands is when people don't let other people in. Knight of Wands is like, Knight of Wands and the Seven of Wands, I don't know why I always have to explain this, but I feel like I need to. It depends where you're standing. When you're on the Nine of Wands, you're on the inside of the gate, and there's things on the inside you're protecting. The Seven of Wands is when you're on the outside of the gate, and you're keeping people from getting in the gate, because there's things you're afraid they're gonna, if they get inside, they're gonna hurt, they're gonna cause damage. So it's kind of like the Seven of Wands, there's wolves on the outside I'm trying to keep out. In the Nine of Wands, it's like there's children on the inside that I don't want them just walking off into the wilderness and possibly getting into trouble, so I'm trying to keep them inside. I don't know why I had to explain that, but in case that helps somebody. And I feel like there's people not letting out how they feel. That's why I'm kind of giving this Nine of Wands energy in the explanation. There's people not letting people know how they feel. There's not people not expressing stuff. Now, before I go any farther with this, I know that Scorpio has secrets. And Scorpio's secrets have secrets. I get that. That's who you are. That's how it is. You don't have to give away your whole poker hand, but if you give away some of it, because when I think of a poker hand, it changes game per game, right? Game per game, we change our hand. At this time, you can give away some of your poker hand. People don't need to know how much you're giving out either. You just have to give out some of it, and you might encourage somebody else to also show their poker hand a little bit. So, I'm just saying, there's a moment here where somebody else, maybe you too, or you know what I mean, not sharing what you really feel, not sharing what's on the inside, but by sharing how you're feeling, somebody else might as well. Again, how much you do, completely up to you. If you're willing to do that, because I'm getting like, I feel like it's hard. It's kind of like, oh, do I want to expose myself? How you do it, how much you do it, keep in mind, totally in your control, obviously. But the more you're willing to do that, the more you're going to encourage other people to follow suit. And there's a chance to bond stronger, right? There's a chance. It's hard, but like by giving that energy in respect to what you feel is correct or worth putting the chance out there with, I feel like it will match. Like this is a give-take card. This is a give-take card. It'll balance out. That's kind of how I'm getting there. Some people are having issues. Some people are having a lot of issues. Okay, so, all right. We have a lot of good cards here. And like by good, I mean positive. There's things other people are working on. They're trying to make something happen here, and I don't think that they realize they're working against themselves. Certain things can't evolve, certain things can't get better, and they're the ones who are not letting it get better, and they don't realize that. If they start sharing some things, I feel like you're going to easily see it. I feel like you're going to be like, well, you're saying the kids never go out and live their own lives, yet you won't let them out the door. Like, you keep saying the kids don't have any social lives, you won't let them go outside and play. So, it's kind of like, and you don't, you keep blocking them here, you block them there. You keep complaining they won't do things, but you won't let them out there to do it. And it's kind of like, I feel like you might be seeing other people doing that. Kind of like they're saying, my kid's never doing anything, they won't go outside. And it's kind of like, well, you won't let them go outside. Well, they can go out in the backyard and sniff the flowers. I'm like, all right, your yard is 20 feet by 5 feet. Like, really? Who's going to go out there and just sit and, okay, sure. Sure. There's something like that where somebody's complaining or they're working against themselves. And they don't see it. To you, it's painfully obvious. I feel like the Hanged Man in the attachment card here is working against each other. I feel like it's working against each other. Like somebody's not willing to change and then complaining that things aren't changing. I keep getting this energy. Scorpio is a changing energy. Usually Scorpio changes, and those changes are difficult, but you'll still head right towards them. It's my interpretation of Scorpio. And it's kind of like, if you start sharing, somebody else is going to start sharing, and then it becomes the next level of challenge, kind of like, oh my god, it's so obvious why that's not working. How do I say that without this person really not liking how I'm saying that? This is the past coming back, kind of like, I've said my piece before, and if people don't like it, does it really even help? And if it's not going to help, why am I bother saying anything? Success in the tower. You have a way of saying things. People listen. You shock people sometimes. I feel like Scorpio shocks people sometimes because I feel like you'll just say it in a way that's kind of like, that's how it is. Scorpio is one of those energies where, especially I feel like when Scorpio gets frustrated, they'll just blurt it out. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it'll just come out, and sometimes it's sharp. Scorpio is scorpion, the tail, whoosh, you know, whoosh, there it goes. Sometimes people need to get stung. It's for the best of it for everybody. I'm sorry, but sometimes it is. They may not like it, but like you need to know you're not doing something right. Boom, there you go. It doesn't have to be physical violence, by the way, and it doesn't have to be really even a violent comment. It's just kind of like right to the point. Like, well, you know, let your kids out of the basement, let them see fresh air, and maybe they'll go out there and socialize. You know, don't hold yourself back. They need help. They want things to change. They need, and for some reason, this might be somebody that most people won't say their piece. This person does not intimidate you, is what I'm also getting. Maybe other people are intimidated by this person. I don't think they intimidate you. Because I feel like, okay, this is where I got the Seven of Wands now. Kind of like, okay, this could get ugly. Maybe I shouldn't let this in. Maybe I shouldn't open up the doors and let them in and let them know what I'm thinking. Maybe I should hold them back, because if I let them in, they're not going to like what I'm going to say. They're saying, let this happen. Let this happen. It's not about weathering the storm. You know you can weather the storm. It's not about that. It's kind of like I want to keep a positive connection, and if I tell them what I'm thinking, which seems completely painfully obvious to me, they might not like me very well. You are who you are. What is that? Is that the 6? What was that one then? That was the 5. So that's interesting. Letting somebody in with the 5. I realized I read this wrong, but still, I didn't read it wrong. Like the energy was correct, but like I was looking at it like it was the 6. You had the 6 over here. So I don't know. I'm still saying the same thing I already said. Put your 2 cents in. Put your energy out there again, because it does match up with your card. Get out there, talk about what you're thinking. Get out there, talk about how you feel about it. You're very powerful. They listen to you. And don't back down. So, like, the way I'm saying don't back down, it doesn't mean, like, I have to keep saying it. And it doesn't mean I have to hold them down and, like, hear me. Make sure you hear me. Tell me you hear me. Like, I'm not saying like that. But, like, if they're like, well, I know you're saying this, Scorpio, but I don't think that's correct because I do this. Don't back down and go, oh, okay, then it's fine. Go kind of like, or don't be silent. I feel like Scorpio does this silent thing more often. I could be wrong, but you know, I feel like they're more quiet. Like, oh, okay, you don't want to hear what I'm saying? I'll just, all right, whatever. Kind of like, all right. It's kind of like saying you want your kids to socialize, let them out of the basement, and they're like, oh, that's not true, Scorpio. Their chains go 50 feet. Kind of like, all right, listen. I know this is a bad analogy. It's kind of, you know, sarcastic, but whatever. Listen, you still have them chained to the basement. So how are they going to get out of the basement? They can only go 50 feet. Like, they can't go around and socialize. You got to let them out of the basement and get rid of the chains. Like, knock it off. Like, you know what you need to say. You know how to say it in the right way. It's almost like, I'm not saying let them run down in the middle of the street during traffic, during rush hour. I'm not saying do that. I'm saying, like, take the chains off. Let them socialize. Let them be a part of parties. Let them experience life. This does remind me of a conversation I've had with somebody before where they were very protective of their children. And I think the children, I want to say they were like between 13 and 15, something like that. And they were really, really overbearing with them. And they were not letting them experience social situations. And then I just gave them an experience that I was aware of. I knew of a few people who went to college and were very, very controlled until they went to college. And then they got into a lot of trouble in a lot of situations because they weren't used to them. And it's like they had way too much control and then not control at all because they weren't used to it. Sooner or later, those children are going to experience situations where they're going to have complete control of what they want anyway. overbearing control, it's not a good idea. Like, you got to start releasing that. Start letting them go. Start getting them out there and experiencing life while you still can step in and save the day if need be. And it's almost like you might have to be that voice of reason. Kind of like, listen, I know they're only 13 or 15, but what's going to happen when they go off to college and it doesn't matter what you think and they're just going to do what they want anyway? Like, you're not going to be there to police them. At some point in life, they're going to have to make their own decisions anyway, and you're going to stifle them so much when they finally get a chance to breathe, they're just going to get as much air as possible, and who knows what's going to happen then. Let them breathe now. Let them get out there and experience things. That way, if things go bad, you're close enough to step in and save the day if need be. Hopefully I made sense with that. I feel like some of you are going to click right into that and know what I'm going for with that. Like, say your piece, because they may not like it, and they may be a little disgruntled, but what you're telling them is going to save them from bigger problems later. It's kind of like, let's fix it now, because sooner or later there will be a problem the way you're handling it. Nothing lasts forever, and you're kind of setting yourself up here. You're working against yourself. It's only going to be so much time before it's going to fall in anyway. Before it falls in on you, I'm trying to highlight where this isn't really working. You're very helpful. It's better that they know now. I am also getting, like, whether they like it or not, time will show them that you're right. Time will show them that you're right, so keep that in mind. That tower is looming for them. The tower is looming for them. I don't think you want this to happen. You can be that voice of healing for them, or you can watch the tower fall. This reminds me of, like, the tower, like, when I think of the tower in this situation, it's eroding. It's not at the point where it's going to fall. You give them a chance for healing, even if that tower has to come down, it's at a point where we can take it apart piece by piece right now without a lot of people getting severely hurt. If you don't say your piece, one day the tower's going to fall and there will be people in it. So it's up to you what you feel is right. I feel like this reading, you wouldn't even still be watching it if it didn't matter. So they're saying, you got this crown chakra, like, there's a reason you're watching this reading. If you're still watching this reading, and I feel like there's definitely going to be some of you going, yeah, I'm still watching it, but I don't know why. Don't worry, in the next couple weeks you will. Don't worry, you will. Maybe, I don't know, is there a way to, like, mark it so you can go back and see it later? I don't know. But the overall energy here is, like, you can be that voice that heals and gives this person a chance to do things better before it really gets to a tower moment. Or you can just kind of, like, step back, and I feel like a lot of people already have stepped back and just, like, wait for the tower to fall and go, yeah, I knew it was going to happen sooner or later, so it's up to you. If you're still watching, you're watching for a reason is what I'm getting. I'm not saying you have to do anything, clearly, but maybe it's food for thought. I also feel like you don't have to make this decision in 2 seconds. I'm also one of those people that I'll go back a couple days later and watch something again and be like, all right, I know what I have to do. Now that I watched it again, I'll do it. Up to you, whatever works for you. If this reading is hitting, of course. All right, I think we're done. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.